Hi everyone, it's Monday, history and all kinds, but I'm going to be honest with you. I've got a few slides there to show, but I want you to talk about whatever you like. Whatever you like, you talk about. Whether it's spacemen, whether it's aliens, whether it's the fella next door who's giving you grief because he's an Evertonian, anything. Anything it's all talk about. Then I'll show you a few slides. Because tomorrow I'm not doing nothing. I'm going to watch the semi-final of the Champions League, you know, the one that we're normally in. But with this stupid manager, nowhere near anything. And the next night again, another Champions League semi-final. So I'll be watching that, just like you will. So as I said, you know, just talk about anything. Let's have a chat. Let's have a decent chat. And I was just listening to a smashing lad before, just before it came on. And his name was Jamie Phillips. Well, is Jamie Phillips. He's been on my football pod, you know, as a guest. And he's one of the most sincere Liverpool football fans I've ever known, really. He's such a honest person. Now, I got hold of Jason last night, the producer, and we were chatting. And I said, Jason, I'm not going to do any more Liverpool football pods. And he said, why? I said, because people are looking at me and it's not me. I'm not like that. And he said, I don't understand. I said, well, one lad, he's a smashing fella. He's actually been to me home. And then he said something, but I misinterpreted what he said. And I had to go at him. I was effing and blinding and whatever. I said, and I'm not like that. I said, and because of this manager of ours, I said, he's put me in that category of being a lunatic. I said, and I just don't want to be like that. I'm me. I'm a decent fella. People will think that I've got a big angry head, and I haven't got an angry head. I said, so I'm doing no more. So he said, okay. But reverting back now to Jamie Phillips, he was getting angry. He was getting very angry. And the passion that oozed out of him, I'm like that. And I think every other supporter is as well. Very passionate about the football team, their football team who they support. I've been supporting them for years. Since the pyramids were being built, I was a can lad on them. That's how long I've been supporting Liverpool Football Club. And on Thursday, you know that I usually have something different on a Thursday. Sometimes I had a football podcast. And on Friday, I have the current affairs. So on Thursday, I'm going to have a podcast. A football podcast. I'm going to see how it goes. To see how we are. I'll have a pre-match Man United game, which we're playing at the weekend. But I will be doing a watch-along, by the way. And I'm going to see how I react. I never watch myself. I never play anything. Even on my DVDs, I've never, ever played anything back. I've never watched myself. Hate watching myself. And when I replayed that, I wanted to see where I went mad, you know. And it's upset me because I'm not like that. And that's why I said I'm not doing things like that. Because, you know, people think that I'm a nice fella, and other people think that I'm not a nice fella. These are people who know me, grew up with them, whatever. So anyway, on Thursday, I'll have to tell you, I think Jason will be watching anyway tonight. I will be having a football pod on Thursday, but I'm doing no pods at all tomorrow on Wednesday. So anyway, let's see what you're being saying. You might have been called, yeah, don't do any more, Frank. Edward. Hello, Frank and chat. Are you Edward? And I've just seen the tweet over there, strangely enough. On the he was on the Jamie Phillips. Even in Frank and chat, even at tea. That's lovely, that. Seen you there before. And Linda says, evening, Frank. Hope you're my cartilage has gone. I found out my cartilage has gone. So I'm limping around like Ekatike. TW, like it, thank you. Like and subscribe. Thank you. T, thank you. Phil. Evening, everyone. Evening, Phil. I'll let you all talk to one another. And Edward says, did the alien fella ever come back on? Did the alien fella ever come back on? No, it's strange that I asked him. And he said I don't know what happened. I don't know what happened. And what's his name? I'll forget his name. But, you know, nice fella. And when I had him on, you know, he's written books and everything. This fella, he's written books. He's been on shows. That's the way it is, unfortunately. The LFC. Evening goal, evening LFC. And Edward says, I had Jamie on as well. Great lads, isn't he? Don't half like him. And Scott McSloy. Hiya, Scott McSloy. I seen you on a comment. I don't know what was it that Cal lad? I don't know who it was. And you said, I hope this slot's gone. Don't we all, Scott? Don't we all, fella? Frank, you have started swearing more lately. Frustration. You're right, Phil. And I'm not like that, you know. I can't be like, I'm an ex-altar boy. Ex-altar boys don't swear. No, but it really sickened me, you know. And I did apologise to him, by the way. And that was Barry. He's a lovely fella. And I did apologise. I said, my apologies. My apologies. And he's a nice fella. And I don't want to fall out with nice people. I really don't. And the LFC. I wouldn't worry too much about that, Frank. It's having that effect on most of us, to be honest. Yeah. Yeah. You're right there, LFC, mate. And the vlogs, MI6, he only comes out with it. That's a coded message, that. Hi. That's a coded message. I've got to, like when the stream finishes, I have to go in and get the big books out and start interpreting what that meant, what this is. If you've ever watched a film called 3 Days of the Condor, you'll know what I mean. By taking that word and those letters, deciphering them. Lindsay said, Frank, you are the most placid, decent person going. Thank you. And Lynn knows me, by the way. Thank you very much. Hello, Frank. Yeah, see. Jason. Got you, mate. Football Thursday. And let me know about the watch along. Yeah, I'm going to do the watch along. That was a must anyway. To be honest, yeah. That was a must. Jason, can I have a break later on? 9 o'clock? To make myself a cup of tea. Thank you. Your mate, stay. I did watch the game on Saturday, but I was in town. Went to see Clee. Go away, did you? I didn't even know they were on. I not that I would be able to have gone. I can't fucking walk. I've gone worse. They are saved small. Steve Malone, my old mate, has made me swear. Credence. John Fogerty's dead though, isn't he? But I would have loved to have seen them. And Jason says, yeah, John Hanson, that's the fella. Thanks, Jay. That's the UFO fella, by the way. And the vlogs. Like and sub to Frank. Thank you, Lee. Thank you so much. And Polo. Hi, Frank. Hi, Polo. And it's me, Sky. Hiya, Skyler. That's Lee Brady's daughter. See, you never heard me swear, did you, Skyler? I hope you didn't. Because you'll only snitch to me, to your dad. He swore, you know, Dad. Yeah. Yeah. There's loads of hints, Scott. Honestly, mate, there's loads of hints. And people can't see through it. First and foremost, what a FSG don't want to lose is the fan base. They don't want to lose that. If they lost that, they've lost the club. And the club to them is a cash cow. But having said that, I'm a very political person. And I've been watching the world markets over oil. Now, if anything, oil affects everybody, including us. And I'm talking Liverpool Football Club. You mightn't think so, but it does. It does. You're going to have flights. If this carries on with Trump, this stupid blockade, this stupid war where there was no need for a war, they done nothing to anybody. Nothing. Iran. And if this carries on, it's just going to get worse. And the likes of the Americans, they're having this ceasefire now, but they're building up arms. But they don't realise what Iran have. So the blockades will still be there. It'll still be there. So it'll affect all the world markets. Everything will go up. And I'll guarantee you now that the likes of, you've only got to look at Germany. Where's Volkswagen going? They're going. We're in Europe and it's going to affect us. I'm talking about Liverpool Football Club. And while the market's down and it's worth between 5.5 and 6 billion quid, not dollars, pounds, the club, they'll sell. They will sell. I'm telling you now. Because they're in the oil business. People don't realise that. You have a look at John Henry's portfolio of business and Standard Chartered, who we've got across the chest, what they're into, and it's oil. It's oil. So they'll say, sell. Telling you now. And Linda says, can you use capital letters to help Frank, please? Thank you. Thank you, Lynn. It's really. I was on Fozzy's channel. When? Oh, Fozzy's, was it? I wasn't on Fozzy, though. I was supposed to go on last week as a guest, but you see, the way my arms are, believe it or not, I've got terrible pain in my arms and I can't hold my phone. But I'm all right sitting here, you know, in my little studio. I'm okay with that. But I'm still in pain. But not so much. So I can't go on my phone. And I said, listen, Fuzzy, sorry, mate, I can't use my phone. Because I've got nothing to stand it on and put it there like that. I've got nothing. And when it was the last time I was on, I was shaking all over the place. And, you know, it's not nice. Very unprofessional. So I told him that, Scotty. And the polo. Frank, your camera looks very clear. Is it a new? No. Do you know what? It was a big mistake. When I said about talking to Jason last night, it was, to be honest, Polo, and I just came in. I wasn't going live, but anyway, we were just chatting. And I had to go through a couple of things. And I turned the big lights on. And that's it. The big light. Without the ring light, you know, ring lights that I use. And that's what it is. Because I always complain to him about the camera. It's not the camera. It's an expensive camera, to be honest. LFC. Thursday, it says, we will have to make a pact. Deep breaths when we see the team sheet. That's good, though. I hope to have a new toot next week. It's going to cost me a fortune. And Edward says, what about the Jamie Parano? The Jamie, oh, what do you mean? I can get him on anytime. I'll get Jamie on. He's a good friend of mine. But he likes taking you to places where it's full of ghosts and noises. Really, I'm telling you. Oh, even Jason would tell you. Big up, legend chat. Looking sharp again, says Cedric. the man with the wonderful exotic yes name. Hi, Cedric. I commented on Fozzie's channel. All right. Oh, might have been that then. And Jason says, if Lynn had met me, you'd be the second most decent, placid person. See, he always gets in on it, doesn't he, Jason? Always gets in. Little cracking. And the CW says, sorry, Frank, which pod are you stopping? I was going to stop TW. I'll have to explain. I was watching Jamie Phillips. I like Jamie a lot. I think he's a sincere man, a very sincere man, and I've got loads of respect for him. And I said to Jason last night, because of me outburst the other night against a lovely fella, by the way. This fella's actually been to me home. He's a nice man, but I had an outburst against him because I misread what he said. I think it is anyway. And he said, Frank, no, I said, and it was about Slot, actually. It was about Slot, the fraud. And I just had an outburst at him. And that's not me. People who know me, I'm not like that. And I said, that's it to Jason. It's only last night. I said, no more football pods. Not doing any. And until I seen Jamie today, I thought, I'll do one on Thursday, see how it goes. It could be the one that goes on till the end of the season, if you know what I mean. Or I'll just pack it all up altogether. We're all passionate supporters. We're all passionate supporters of our great football club, and this fella's ruining it. People don't realise how he's ruining it. He was given a load of money at the beginning of the season, and he's supposed to bring those players in, and they're wonderful players, by the way, to make Liverpool a far better side and to retain the title easily and to go on through Europe. Never worked out because he's useless with his brand of football. Absolutely diabolical. And I'm just fed up with him. And that's what I had a go at this. One of the lads on the chat. But I did apologise because when I reread it, well, I never reread it. He actually put it down. He said, this is what I meant. And I apologised immediately. But I thought, that's not me. He's upsetting everybody. Stephen Coughlin. Good evening, Frank and chatters. Hope you're all well. So a good win on Saturday against the Palace. A blinder of a game by Freddie Woodman. You'll never walk alone. Yeah. We were awful anyway. We were awful, Stephen. I have seen you swear before, but I have not told my dad because my dad knows you. That's that little Skylar. She's a lovely... That's one of the lads, Lee Brady. Season ticket holder. He's fed up with Slot. And as she says, I've seen you swear before, but I've not told my dad because my dad knows you swear. Thank you, Skyler. Thank you, sweetheart. Paul Bay. Let's be fair, Frank. Saturday was awful, but we won. Yeah, we're all made up. You know that, Paul. We're all made up that we don't want to see us lose. But, you've got to say it as it was. We were terrible. And Isak, I've got to be honest with Isak's goal. McAllister hit it, right, as a shot. Now, if he wasn't standing there, that ball would have flew wide. But he was actually in the right place at the right time to get the ball and score a goal. So that was a lucky goal. The only good goal, from football-wise was Robertson's. What a great ball by Jones. Jones was my man of the match. And yet you're getting loads of people who hate Jones for some reason. And I've always said, I'm just an ordinary Liverpool fella. But we've always had to have, as you know, Paul, a Scouser in the team. And Lindsay says, sorry to say, yes, stop saying that, Lynn. He's not staying. I have murder with people who come out and say that because I don't want you to read anything stupid. That's what angers me. That's really angers me, though. The reading narratives that are put out by the club. Why don't they just come out and say, why doesn't that John Henry come out? Because, he likes to show his face now and again from Boston in mass, unless he's on his yacht sailing the world. Why doesn't he come out and say, Mr. Slaughter's staying? We're going to extend his contract. Why doesn't he come? He doesn't want to. Why doesn't he want to? Because he doesn't want to lose the fan base. The majority of fans, 90% of fans, you're getting the likes of journals who's following their narrative because they can't come out and say Slot is being sacked at the end of the season. What could Slot do? Slot could actually say, well, all right, I'm going now, so F you, and I want my money now. Because he's like that. He's a shameful person. He lives in Manchester. He hasn't had the sorry, Skyler. He hasn't had the decency to live in the city where he's employed. Does anybody ever think of that? I've been saying it for a long time, that he doesn't live in the city that employs him. And this is what it's all about. And the polo. Iran have thousands of missiles. America don't have enough for 6 months. No, you're right. You're right. And who else is supplying them now? They're in a thing called BRICS. BRICS. Iran. And it's like, the way Europe is in NATO. So they're supplying, Ukraine is not even in NATO. Ukraine, we fought against the Ukrainians, our parents or grandparents to some here, against the Nazis in Ukraine. People don't realise that. They were full of Nazis, and they're still full of Nazis today. That's who the Russians are fighting. And we're supplying them with money. There's 4.5 million children in this country alone below the poverty line. And that Starmer's giving them money. He's giving them billions. How much is he going to give them every, I don't know. Is it every month? I'm not quite so sure because I don't follow the Pratt. But he signs a 100-year guarantee. 100 years that we're going to give them this money. Yet there's 1.5 million children below the poverty line in this country. And we're supplying them with arms as well. And we want to take out, that's John Healy. Have you seen the clip of Healy? Ah, Jesus. All propaganda. Liverpool vlogs. And all those texts I did, that was me, Skylar. So, I'm watching you now. And please do not say I am Lee Brady's daughter. Why? You're all right, aren't you? What have I got to make? God blimey, I'll get locked up. LFC, remember to hit the bell for a reminder when Frank starts streaming. It helps for people like me, forgetful, says LFC. Thank you. Thank you. Barry, even if Frank and everyone hope we're all good. Yes, we're all good. Thank you, Barry. Except that I've been diagnosed with a cartilage. It's gone. I'm hopeless, useless, can't walk, can't do anything. I'm like Hugo Ekitike and young Leone, but young Leone's getting back to. And the bush. Hello, Frank. Must be something in the water. Got a back problem as well. Agony. My knee. I don't want to go into it, but when I go to bed, right, I can't sleep on my back because I've got that thing, where I stop breathing. Francine knows it, my daughter. And so I have to sleep on my side, and it kills me, keeps me awake, my knee, no matter what side I go on. But if I lie flat, it goes away, the pain. That's me. In other words, I'm knackered. Christopher. Hi, Frank and everyone. Like and subscribe. Thank you. Thank you, Christopher. King Vader. Hiya, Frank in chat. I like your room, Frank. Do you? Yeah. I'm a great fan of Sherlock Holmes. Sherlock. And Sir Arthur Conan Doyle. Great writer. Well, you know me about literature. Shakespeare. So I just love Sherlock Holmes and the way his room was. Just like that. There's his fiddle, see? There's his fiddle there, look. Not that he can play it like. Thanks very much. Frank, hi Phil. Ashik Bihari. Hello, Ash. Hi, mate. Hiya, mate. Hiya, Ash. Hope you're well. And Stephen said, feel sorry for Hugo after his injury. And no World Cup for yeah, no World Cup for him. That's a shame. That's a shame, young lad. And my old mate Paul, more strings to your bow than footy, mate. As much as I love it, plenty more good things to go on about. Ufologists, great listen, yeah. That's a great thing to talk about last week. But what I wanted to talk about was, I've got to mention this, was the Titanic. The Titanic. And people don't realise, I can't explain it properly. People think that they've heard the story and, the different theories about it. You want to hear this one? It's incredible. And we tried to show it. We tried to show it, but we can't because of copyright. And we could actually be prosecuted. So what we're going to do, Jason is showing everything out. Getting pictures. But you'd have to listen to me. The narration. And believe it or not, it's incredible. And you'll have a different take on it. You'll have a different take on the Titanic. Yes, Frank, I've lost my watching us in this season. Slot has to go. Slot has to go soon because I can't stand any more of his crap. He talks it as well, does it? Plays it and talks it. That's what it's all about. And Barry says, sometimes, Frank, it's difficult to express an opinion or voice of view with the written words because it can easily be misconstrued. But we know how passionate you are about the subject you are discussing. Thank you, Barry. Thank you so much. And the Ash says, unfortunately, Manchester United will beat us Sunday. Thing is, look, there are a few people saying, because we beat Everton and because we beat Crystal Palace, and we were awful against Palace. Let's be honest. We played in spasms, if you know what I mean. And if we get beat against United, the mood changes again. Watch if we get beat. And we can't afford, if we went into the leads, we can't afford what we've been doing all season and that is allow the opposition to come at us to try and preserve that lead. To try and preserve the lead, we sit back. There is tactics. That's his presence of play. It's just like the Dutch, the way the Dutch play. And there's another big thing that he's actually accepted the job at Ajax. But he hasn't come out like he did at Feyenoord on the middle of the pitch and saying, I'm leaving at the end of the season. I'm joining Liverpool. That was a coward The cowards only do that. And he's a coward. I've never liked him since I've seen that. Even before he took up the job, I said, we don't want this fella. He's horrible, then. But anyway, he won't come out because there's too much money at stake for him. Because if he came out and said it now, John Henry would say, fuck off now. Sorry, Skyler. Paul Bay. Jones man of the match last year. Yeah, I'd go along with that. And he wants to get rid of him. But I think it's Hughes. There's another fella who doesn't live in Liverpool. He lives in Bournemouth. And he's an employee of Liverpool Football Club, who's based in Liverpool, you know, the city's name. We've got an emblem and everything, Liverpool. It's not Manchester. It's not Bournemouth. It's Liverpool. It's Liverpool, the city of Liverpool. That's given so much throughout history to the world, not just the nation, but to the world. Show you one thing that they gave. Just to prove a point. There you go. And you might think, oh, what's that? It's an X-ray. Thurston Holland. Thurston Holland. And that X-ray was taken in Rodney Street. He was a master physicist, was Thurston Holland. And that thing, you see, it's not a ring on his finger. It's a bullet. It's an actual bullet that penetrated his little finger. And he took an X-ray. And I've done a DVD of it. Pressed the buzzer that gave the X-ray. It's still there in the house that he lived in Rodney Street, Liverpool. That's what we gave the world. The likes of that, loads of other things as well. King Vader. Sorry, Frank, I forgot the caps again. Sorry, mate. Thank you. Can I sit back now and relax? Thanks, Vader. We'll spend the money from the swear jar on a new camp. Aliens, can we ask they take that man's slot away, please? Have you ever thought that he might be an alien who hasn't a clue about football and he's learning his trade here? And Stephen says, can't bear looking at his face when he's lying to us. When he's lying to us Liverpool fans, as you can't kid a kidder. No. That's a good point. I can't stand him. I really can't stand him. Never takes accountability for anything. And little Lindsay, to think Trump wants to give the Falklands Islands away to Argentina. Jesus, I know a few guys who died fighting for that. Says little Lynn. Yeah. But, you know what Trump's like? I'll be talking about that this week, by the way. Not tonight. But you're right there, Lynn. Trump's a bully. He'd love to take the world. And Stephen says, they have money to feed the war, but not the poor. It's bad news. Of course it is. Of course it is. They don't give a toss about the poor. And Barry says, we all... You can't just put... I tried to cross my legs. Okay, now. Anyway, we all think the same about Slot. All we can do is hope he's fired. He's fired up, and we can hit the ground running with Alonso. Yes. Yes. Tell them about the UFO, Frank. What UFO? The one I seen. That got me interested in it. Stan. Is this Stan? Oh, Steve. And Phil says they took down the cup. They took down the clip from TJ. Is that TikTok? I'm sorry. When the vast majority of comments agreed. Phil, can I ask you what comments? Because we've been talking about Trump, we've been talking about the Falkland Islands, we've been I don't know, we've been talking football. Was that the comments of Slot? It wouldn't surprise me. The majority, 90% of fans want him gone. 90. Think about that. And Stephen says, we will be selling to balance the books along with making mega profits in the summer. That's what they're afraid of. They could lose everything. That's what you've got to look at with this man. He's not going to improve any. He got great players and he couldn't do anything with them. We should have progressed this season. And look what we're doing. We're fighting for the Champions League place. And it still isn't secured yet. Can't go on like that. And he's not going to improve the team. Doesn't even live in the city. So what's that tell you? Has anyone said that? Has that fucking Edward said it? He doesn't live in the city, Mr. Henry. And he hasn't done for 2 years. Where he works, where he's employed at. Has he said anything like that? Don't think so, do you? Mr. B. Good evening, Franco Baresi. Hiya, Mr. B. Hiya, mate. Good to see you. Good to see you there, mate. And Barry says, I went to the doctors and he said, you've got arthritis. And I said, and cartilage problems, which will get worse. That's what I've got. And I was talking to a mate of mine today, funny enough. And he said the same. Watch that it doesn't turn into arthritis. That's all I need. I really do. That's all that I need. Because my left elbow there, that's killing me as well. And Mr. B, here's a rumour today, John Heitinger could be coming back in a bit fucking late, isn't it? Bit late, Mr. B. He says you can pay for them to be fixed or put up with it. Needless to say, it was the latter. Frank IQ, 173, not 172 it is. Genius level. But when I did my Mensa test, and it came out as that, couldn't believe it. But I didn't know what it was or anything like that. I just left it. Left wasn't. And the Titanic. That sounds like a plan. Look forward to that. Yeah, I was going to do it. I was going to do it tonight, but I was going to show it. Show you what I mean. Bear with me. You've never seen anything like this in your life. Banned from everywhere. Why they sank here. Think about the title. Why they sank here. Why they, who are they? Why? The question, why? They who sank the Titanic. Why and who? Great title. Incredible. Sunny day. What a name. Morning. Were you a teacher in your previous profession? A lecturer? A lecturer, Sonny. I lectured the Roman Empire, especially Roman Britain. The ancient tribes, and when the Romans came during the Claudian invasion. And I also did the English Civil War and the French Revolution, Napoleon's escapades, and World War I. That's what I did. That's what I lectured in. I hope that fake news, Mr. B, you don't want him. He's a failed manager. He's a failed manager. Remember when it first came out? No, never came out though. It was fans saying, get Heitinga back. He'd just been sacked from Ajax. That's how bad it is. But you see the way it fixes things. Because what I've been told, that Slot has taken the Ajax job. He's taken it. He said yes to them. So now to get again the narrative, oh yeah, let's send a little rumour out that I think it could be back. So you'll have to believe, well, Slot must be staying, mustn't he? Because I think he's coming back. It's no use coming back now. You see what I mean? This is the way you've got to look at things. Remember, I keep saying this. Remember what Leo Tolstoy said. History would be a wonderful thing if it was true. Well, this is the same. The narrative would be a wonderful thing if it was true, and it's not fucking true. We will have a game against Man U this weekend, says yes. I've just said there, Mr. B, before. The way things are, Arnie's great now. Oh, look, he beats Crystal Palace. Oh, brilliant. And he beats Everton, which is great. He didn't beat them. The fucking players did. But we weren't outstanding in the two games. We weren't. And they think, oh, yeah, great now. If Man United beat us, which I don't want them to, it'll be back to square one. Get rid of Slot. These are about the divvies who were saying, I'll give him that season. Pathetic. Stephen says, Slot was just a season wonder, a flash in the pan. Now he's nothing, a Billy no mate. Yes. Yes, go along with that. That's a good one. Excuse me. Barry says, we're only open to win to get us closer to the Champions League certainty. Not because we want Sloot to receive the brownie points for falsely helping us to get into the top 5. Yeah. And that's what it's like. And Mr. B, I remember saying we can judge him on the first season. He needs his own transfer window. He's had that, and as a fireman with chocolate fingers. Brilliant, Mr. B. But I give him the analogy of the chef who was given, he was given the new ingredients. I'll go make the cake. These are the best ingredients you can ever wish for. Go and bake the cake. And he comes back an hour later and says, I can't use them. I don't know what they're for. Just like our players in the summer. Couldn't use them. Still can't use them. And hypothetically, if he does stay, and all this about Diamandi, and he'd fucking ruin them. Because he hasn't got the best out of Verts, has he? He hasn't got the best out of Kerkez. Know what I mean? Ekatike even. Isak. All right, Ekatike's not newly injured, but he never got the best out of Isak. And the hypocrisy out of him when he wouldn't play him at the beginning of the season. Oh, he never has any pre-season. You didn't have any pre-season. No pre-season. He's not much fit. He's just come back from a broken leg and he fucking throws him in. No, he's not much fit. That's what he's like. He's an arsehole. Frank, do you think there have been aliens on Earth? Well, that'll put me into the category of like a flat earther, if you know what I mean. Like if you said, are we being visited? From what I've seen in France, yes, because it wasn't a plane, and this thing was huge. It was huge. And when we looked out, we were looking down at, this is in the Dordogne, we were looking down at it. It was hovering. You know those tall trees? Do you know those tall trees in France? Those poplar trees? It was over and above them. And the ones underneath were like that. And the ones that it wasn't underneath them, like that, just say that, perfectly still. Perfectly still. But this thing was absolutely ginormous. Listen, people, do you mind if I TW. Yeah, I'm doing it. Yeah, I'm doing it, see. I'm actually doing it. And what Jason and I was talking about was doing a one, you know, like of a weekday as well. A weekday, not a week, you know, during the evening. Sorry about, I don't know where I am. I've got no. Mr. B, the Titanic was an inside job. I'm going to leave it on that. Do you mind if we go and make a cup of tea? Jason will throw something up here. I hope. Hi, I'm Frank Carlyle, and I'm a local historian. And as you can see, the famous Liverpool waterfront is covered in mist. Over the centuries, many people have written about Liverpool, and not all of them have got it right. So come with me through my city to dispel some of these myths. Here we are in Castle Street, and as you can see, the mist has lifted. But I want to show you this before we get to the castle, and it's the Sanctuary Stone. But where is the Sanctuary Stone? In fact, it's in the middle of the roads of Castle Street, and before I jump on it, I've got to be very careful. There's a myth surrounding this Sanctuary Stone, but I'm not going to stay here and tell you, it's too dangerous, so come with me. During medieval times, when all the business was being conducted by the merchants and exchange flags, now people depended on their ships coming in, and all their money was tied up with these ships, but they used to get credit. Then the creditors, actually, if they'd seen someone who owed them money, they would run and chase them until they got to the Sanctuary Stone. They jumped on the Sanctuary Stone and claimed sanctuary for 2 solid weeks. There's another myth that surrounds the Sanctuary Stone, and it involves slaves. And they were supposed to have ran up off the ships, up Bank Street, which is Water Street now, down to Castle Street, jump on the Sanctuary Stone and claimed freemen. Unfortunately, that was a myth, because the actual Sanctuary Stone legislation ended in 1696, 4 years before Liverpool was involved in the slave trade. When I mention freemen, that's what they would have been, free men. We're at the back of the town hall and exchange flags. But could you believe that this used to be an orchard? But I'll tell you about that later. Staying with the slave theme, just have a look at this wonderful, beautiful memorial. The memorial to Admiral Horatio Nelson. The memorial was designed by James Wyatt and sculpted by Westmacott and was erected in 1813. And as you can see, there are 4 figures in chains. For years, many people who have walked through exchange flags have taken these 4 figures as slaves. In fact, they are 4 French prisoners of war actually taken by Nelson to represent his famous 4 victories in battle with the French. They are the Battle of St. Vincent, the Battle of the Nile, the Battle of Copenhagen,
and the battle, his final battle of Trafalgar. There is only one man who said England expects every man to do his duty, and that was Admiral Lord Horatio Nelson, and it's actually written on the monument itself. There's another myth dispelled on Liverpool Unravelled. We're on our way to the castle now, but just before we get there, have a look at all this. Look at this. It's been battered, absolutely battered, but it was battered by the Luftwaffe. And people often ask me, why haven't they repaired it? Well, it's a living memorial to the May Blitz.
Yes, that was me a few years ago. So that's to put us into context, isn't it, really? Thanks, Jason, for that, mate. And Phil says, by the way, watching the Meat Roadrunner assassin, it was like a comedy sketch. He did he actually wrote about it, you know, what he wanted to do. And he wanted to expose the security surrounding the President of the United States. But he also condemned, he said, this man doesn't rape this man, meaning Slot, I don't believe it. Shut my mind. This man, Trump, does not represent me. He's a rapist. He's a, paedophile. Oh, should have heard what he said about him. They've got that, the police. Was a comedy sketch, to be honest, Phil. Our form against the Salford Prawns isn't great, so we best ready for a fight, especially at Old Trafford at the weekend, say Steve. When you said the prawn, yeah, you're right, but it was Keane, Roy Keane, who exposed that. He said it's gone away from the working classes. These are the prawn cocktail people. And he was spot on. Give him his due out there, Roy Keane. And Phil, sorry, YouTube blocked my comment about NATO and expansion. They would, because it's that's all they ever do. They expand everywhere. You've only got to look at the American bases, where they are, where they're situated. They're everywhere. LFC, spot on LFC, it says monitored. There's no free speech now, unfortunately. And Stephen says, can't wait. Have you seen the indifference of the comments? Can't wait for the final whistle against Brentford. It can't come quick enough, Frank. For a lot of people, to be honest. For a lot of people. Phil says, was on LBC radio and had a Barney with the presenter and panel. I suggested the war could have been avoided if no expansion. You're 110% right there, by the way. Because they were warned, the West, not Ukraine, because the West, especially The West was wanting NATO to go into Ukraine. And that was the biggest red line. And they warned them. They said, don't do it. But there was more to it than that then. Because what you had the Ukrainians going into what you call the Donbass Oblast, which is like, Lancashire and that. It's like the states over in there, the USA, like states, like Lancashire and Yorkshire and Sussex and Essex, here, the Shires. So they're oblast. The Ukrainians were going in there. And as Putin said, they're committing genocide. And not a blind bit of notice was used by the West because they were provoking for Putin to go in, for Russia to go into Ukraine. They provoked it. They went in, and look what's happened. And it's a war of attrition. 1.9 million Ukrainian soldiers have been killed. That von der Leyen comes out and says, she's been saying for 4 years, the true democracy of Ukraine. Is she having a laugh? I'd love to, the journalists are useless, because I would have just said to von der Leyen, can you tell me something, von der Leyen, Ursula? Can you tell me if it's a true democracy in Ukraine, why is all the opposition, every single one of them, in jail? Is that democracy to you? I thought, in countries you have opposition to fight against parties if they're not doing so good. Can you answer me that? Why are they in jail? Why are the journalists in jail? And opposition leaders? Why is Diane Pachenko having to leave the country because she was outspoken against Zelensky and his regime, exposing him, taking the money, calling Ukraine a washing machine, laundering the money? Can you explain that to me, Ursula? Toscana, Buonasera, Franco and Co. Hope you're all well. They played fantastic under Jurgen on a shoestring, and we worked miracles, and we owe him so much. Yes. But you're getting fans turning against them, and this is what the likes of Paul Gorst and Ornstein's are phony. These are phony and take no notice of what he says. And LFC response to the Titanic. It's incredible. It's incredible. And we should be beating Everton and Palace. Most teams, to be honest. I don't apologise for my arrogance. We are Liverpool FC. Brilliant. Brilliant. Great answer. Great comments, Lordy. And the live bird. Buonasera, Franco. Reds and lovely chatters was running late again. Scoozy. I hope Slot Ajax up as soon as. Which French Revolution did you teach? It was mostly Dayton and Robespierre. 1789. And what they got up to. And then I went on to the escapades of one of the greatest military leaders of all time, and that was Napoleon Bonaparte. That's what I did, Lively. And Stenner makes sense if Slot goes back to Holland. The fact his family never came out, over here to England says it all. However, I do believe Slot is a... Hang on, I'll have to take a little sip of my tea. Nearly choked there. Oh, that's better. However, I do believe Slot is a good manager. The team this season has been through it all. How is he a good manager? Stenner, can you answer that, please? I'm like and subscribe, if you don't mind, because I've never seen you before. We need more pace, as this team is far too slow. Rio needs more time to mature. So you're a Slot in, really, I believe. The way you're wording it. I just want to know what good Slot is. Please don't say he won us the league last season. Please don't say that. The person who won the league, it was the team that still had the Klopp mentality. And they went out and played the Slot mentality. Not the Slot mentality. The Klopp mentality. And when we had a cushion, he brought in his own... system and tactics. And we've been playing them ever since. Absolutely useless. There's where you get your slow football from. Have you seen the training schedule? The training schedules, medicine balls, basketballs, and tennis balls. I can't see how a basketball, a tennis ball, or a medicine ball can go down the wing, cross it, and have shots. And I just don't understand that. I don't know what they do. Oh, my knee. Phil says, Chinese proverb, if something happens once, might not happen again. Something happens twice, it will happen again. Apply that to Slot's team. Perfect performances. After we won the league, yeah. See, it's like what Senna said there, but he didn't say that they won the league. Slot won the league. Give him his due on that. But people who say that he did win the league, I can't make that out. There's not a praise of Mo Salah recording the most assists for any team in the Premiership. Make it as a record. A record. And also a golden boot to boot. No one mentions that. Oh, he won us the league last season. No, he didn't. It was Mo Salah who won the league. Because without Mo Salah, if he was been gone, as some fans wanted them gone, he was never have won the league. I wonder where we was finished, because he would have been golden boot last season. He would have been the record assist. Let me know. Polo, you're spot on, Frank. Name one player Slot has improved. None. Zero. Zilch. He's made them worse. This lad's Vert, he was supposed to be, I didn't know, I don't follow German football. And he was supposed to, my daughter Francine said, Dad, he's brilliant, you know. I said, is he? I said, yeah. And everybody else, all the, you know, the social networking, even that Mark Goldridge and that Alice girl, you know, the both Man United fans, they do football pods besides the Man United thing. And he said, they've got Wirtz. Oh. And they're going after Isak. They're going to rule for the next years. And what did he do? Couldn't bake the cake. Simple as. Stephen Slot's voice with BS goes through me every time he opens his gob. He's been epic failure ever since he walked through the door. It's game over for him at Liverpool FC now. So he has to resign. He won't resign. He'll be sacked. There you go. Told you, didn't I? Stenner. Stenner. You let yourself down there, lad. Or girl, whoever you are. Epic failure. He won the league. He won the league. Is he winning it this year with new players? Stenner. Is he winning it this year? With new players, £450 million worth of players, is he winning it? We were 7 points clear of Arsenal, then he has, you know, this is with his system. This is with his tactics. 7 points clear of Arsenal, looking down at them. What happens? Stenner. With his tactics. And his system. Let us all know, seeing that, you know. Always spread kindness. That's lovely, though. Hey, bro. Are you always? And Carmen Camellia. Are you? Yeah, it was my blood pressure there, Carmen. What have I found, says Kurulusu. I trust, Frank, that Slot has finished at Anfield, says Logo. The fans' opinion has to matter for something. Of course they do. They can't afford to lose the fan base. Look, I'll explain this again about the fans, by the way. I'll explain it. When FSG first took over, I didn't want them, by the way. I didn't want X and Gillette. I don't like Americans, the business people. They suck it out of you. They suck everything out of you. That's what they're like. I know. And when they first took over, the first thing they did, which was a load of bollocks as well, was we're building a new ground. That was a load of nonsense. I said that at the time. Take no fucking notice of these. And the other thing they did, and I hope you remember if you're old enough, and supporting us long enough, I know that few of you have, was this. They banned all the flags. Do you remember the banners? And this is why they did it. If you go back to the Hicks and Gillette, what was on the cup? What banners were on the cup? Yanks out. Big long one. Hicks and Gillette out. There was loads of them. And what was flying over Anfield? Planes. Remember the plane? They used to Hicks and Gillette out. Was on the tail, flying over Anfield. Does anybody ever remember that? That's why they banned them. So they banned them now. And only someone mentioned the other week, only a couple of weeks ago, why don't we get banners saying slot out wouldn't be allowed in the ground? You've got to follow their narrative. This is why they cannot come out. They cannot come out now and say we're sacking them, because Slot, look, there's no shame in the man. And I said to you a long time ago, he went out into the middle of the pitch of Feyenoord, got a mic and said, I'm leaving at the end of the season. I'm joining Liverpool. And they still had games to go. So you might think, well, why doesn't he do that now? He can't do it to Liverpool. Because he knows that they all fucking want him to go anyway. The majority of fans want him gone. They know he's a fraud. They know he's a phony. They know that Liverpool won the league with Klopp's team that gelled the season before. What did he do? He sent them on holiday when we won the league, exactly now, a year ago today. Won the league. And he sent them on holiday. He went over to Ibiza. Or did he? Or did he go to Dubai? I'm not quite so sure. No, he went to Ibiza playing DJ. And this season, you know, that Stenner fella said, but we're a bit slow in the air. Why are we slow, lad? He gives them days off. We all know that they're very slow. And we blow up at between the 70th and 80th minute. Do you see why I said at the beginning about me not doing any more football pods? Because of people like him, Stenner. He won us the league. He didn't. And they can't get through to these people. But you're right there, logo, mate. They can't afford. They don't want to see. Let me just go on to it. They can't afford, logo, to have a plane flying across the Anfield. FSG out. They don't want to see that. And John Williams says, what year was that? Hang on, John, I've just got my legs gone. Okay. Oh, the pain. Fucking hell. Just let a minute. What year? I don't know. A few years ago. When I had salt and pepper in. And I was a bit thinner then. To what I am now, because I can't walk. I think it was around the 2000s. It was around 2000, started doing them 2005, 6, 7, and 8, and 9, and 10. And Gary says, evening everyone, I'm on the water. Gary Rigby. So am I, Gary. And Zaz Mez, you ain't changed a bit, Frank. I have, you know. The LFC. Brilliant, love that, thank you. Thank you. Great again, Frank. Thank you, buddy. Big up to Asmez. Great. Is that Taro? Yeah. Why didn't you remind me to phone you today? That annoys me. Phone me some other afternoon, you know. Okay. You have to tell me what time's best for you. So annoying. Great player, Roy Keane, of course he was. And Lindsay said, no, Lindsay, God blimey, can you get anything? It's all kidsology. Oh, fucking hell. Oh, my knee. Oh, my knee. The pain I go through. I only got to move it. From my elbow to my knee. So that Stenner fella. Fucking hell. I wonder if he's the chair fella. You know, that goes up stairs. You know, for the likes of me. Did you send one down for us, Stenner? Trump is going to be bumped up. No, he is not. He ain't. Then. Barry said, Frank, so sorry I missed 2 of the Nelson victories. Trafalgar, St. Vincent, yeah. Trafalgar was his last one. The Battle of St. Vincent was the Caribbean. Oh. I might have to finish early with cerebral pain, boys and girls. And it's the EU. The EU is dictatorship. It's being run in the same vein as America. They are combining all the European countries, create one giant superpower so we can rival the American economy. Yeah, but we're finished. This is what, look, I'll just explain this very briefly. America had the plan in 1999 to take out the Middle East. 7 countries in the Middle East to destabilize the Middle East. Iran was the very last one. But they didn't. If that would have been the first one, they might have got away with it. But seeing that it's the last one, and because they didn't realize that the likes of Russia, China, India, few other Brazil as well, were going to combine to make a thing called BRICS. And that's the NATO, if you like, of these countries. Because if anyone attacked a NATO country, a war would start. Why do you think Putin is just holding back all the time? Because he's defeating NATO. If you don't think NATO is in Ukraine, so he's defeating them, hands down. And Trump can't get us in his head that. That's why he says, I'm leaving NATO, and NATO is America. And if you think for 1 minute that Europe could get up an army, it's a scam. It's a money spinning scam. Of course it's a dictatorship. So anyway, I'll finish off. Went in to destabilise the Middle East so that all the migrants of war-torn countries would move. And where would they move to? They just move into Europe. And that was the plan, to destabilise Europe. And what's happening in Europe now? What's people going on about migrants? You see? It's all a big globalist plan. Good point, that, Frank. I don't know what you're talking about. The good point. I don't think it was that, though. And the Polo, these Echo, Geno, disgrace, Ghost, Doyle, Pierce, all paid. Of course they are. They're all paid shows, yeah. They're following the narrative so that it doesn't get the fans into a panic. Why hasn't he come out? Look, why has he accepted a job at Ajax? That wasn't supposed to be leaked, but it has been leaked. They're all phony, every one of them. Keep telling people, don't take it. Lots of Germans loved and respect Klopp. Just after Brexit, we were in Croatia and Bayern. Supporter, Phil. Just after Brexit, we were in Croatia and a Bayern Munich supporter. Stenner. He won the league. Okay, yeah, if you say so. I think the problem is with this season, the paranoia of losing out on a top manager in the window and sticking with Slot. There's just been things with Slot. I can't forgive the way he's handled it. Yes, Slot is a phony. How did he get the... I'd love to ask Stenner, if he was sitting there, how did he get the job? I know how he got it. I wonder if he knows. Stenner, he won the league. Fucking hell. Just don't fancy Alonso. To be honest, Stenner, I'd do a better job than Slot. My cartilage is gone. And I suffered a broken neck, Stenner. So he thinks Alonso. Fucking hell. Right. Good quote, that, says Edward to Phil. I think everybody's paranoid about losing out an adult manager in the window. But Slot has won fuck up the league, and we need to respect that. I don't respect anything he's done. Okay, why didn't he? Look, for fuck's sake. Why did? Oh, do you know what? This is why I'm not fucking doing it anymore. I'm fucking fed up with it. I try to explain to people what I know, what I'm told through there, rather than, listening to Paul Ghost, and these fucking assholes, Pierce, Ornstein, as though they're always like Romano. They're all right. No, they're not. They've never been 100% right in anything. Slot has won the league, and we need to. I don't fucking respect. Tell me how did he win it? Go on, tell me. Have you never heard of the Beatles? Kuro. Have you never heard of the Beatles? And you, Stenner. Have you never heard of the Beatles? Hey. The Beatles were a band. The greatest band that ever lived. The greatest band that got together. And one man was brought in because they just wanted the main drummer of the band was a handsome fella. And the girls who used to go to Cavern and anywhere else, by the way, and watch them, they used to just scream this fella's name out. Fella named Pete Best. And Epstein didn't want that. Epstein didn't want that because what his focus was on the front three. The likes of Lennon, fella named, if you don't know them, I'll explain. The likes of John Lennon, Paul McCartney, and George Harrison. He wanted them to concentrate on that. You might say, what's this got to do with football? Let you know now. So they brought in a fella by the name of Richard Starkey, who had a nickname, Ringo Starr, because he wore a fucking ring, couple of rings on his fingers. Ringo Starr. He was an average drummer. But they brought him in. Have a look at Ringo Starr. See, Brad Pitt image. George Clooney. Jimmy Dean. No. He wasn't a good-looking fella at all. So they put him on all the girls down. Instead of screaming for Pete Best, that was it. Pete had gone. Starr was there. The ordinary drummer. So they said, oh, fuck him. Yeah. Well, the girls didn't fancy him. So they just concentrated then on the front three. And that's why. In other words, Ringo Starr is the fucking luckiest man ever known on the planet. Same as Slot. He picked up a team with a Klopp mentality that had gelled that season. With the new players coming in. And when that prick Edwards came back, that was the end. He fucking knew he was coming back. And he said, that's it, I'm leaving. He told the players, I'll be leaving at the end of the season, that Edwards is coming back. And fucking Edwards breezed back. Why do you think, as soon as he said that, as soon as he found out that he was that was the end of Trent? Because Trent said, that's it. So he picked up a little fucking thing to learn Spanish because he knew that Madrid was after him. Trent is an out-and-out Liverpool football fan, besides playing for us. And if you don't believe me, have a look on the last day, the very last day, when that John Henry was standing on a podium in the middle of the pitch, giving out fucking presents to the backroom staff and Jürgen. And the camera went right on Trent. Trent wasn't just crying, he was bawling his eyes out because he lost his mentor. He lost that man who he loved. That's why. He said, fuck this. That was it. And he left. He left the following season. with him in charge. So you see, he's the luckiest fucking man. He was just there at the right time, at the right place, and he's got plaudits. Do you think Real Madrid will go after him? Arbeloa is going to be sacked. Do you think Real will go after him? And if Enrique leaves, do you think PSG will go after him? He wants to play like, he says, I want to play like PSG. Some fucking things. Or Arsenal, do you think Arsenal will go after him? If they get rid of Arteta? That's another fucking thing. Look at Arteta, fighting for the league. Still in the Champions League, and yet their fans want him fucking gone. We're not in fucking anything. We were fucking wiped out and everything, us. We used to fight for under Jurgen Klopp for quadruples. Quadruples. Look at us now. Not in anything. That's your slot. That's your slot. He broke all kinds of records, fucking 50 years records, 70-year records. For the worst play in 70 years, 50 fucking years. And you're saying that slot is okay. And you're saying very, very... Oh, okay. Anyway, years ago, Bayern Munich supporter told me that after Brexit, the Germans were worried about the UK. He told me they sent Klopp to save the country. He saved us. He saved us, did Yergi. He saved the fucking city, to be honest. I'm not sure I believe you're there, Frank. I don't think he has them doing any training. I'm not sure I believe you there, Frank. I don't think he has them doing it. I fucking said that, LFC. I've told you that. He gives them days off. He gives them medicine balls to throw about. He gives them basketballs to throw about. He gives them tennis balls to fucking pick up and throw at other players. That's what I've said. LFC. That's what I've said, lad. I've said it for a long, long time. His training methods are absolutely ridiculous. And he gives them days off. He gives them days off so we can get off over to Holland to see his wife. Remember last week when he brought his wife over? He didn't come to fucking Liverpool to have dinner. He has us in Manchester. What the fuck's that all about? Why didn't he show her around our city? We've got a great city. A beautiful city. Beautiful architecture. Prick goes to fucking mountain. Let him fucking stay there. Let him take over Man United. Remember our approach was Ruben Amorim first, then Alonso, then the Dutch prick got the job. Mr. B, he was already chosen, mate. This is what I'm... See, I've been saying this for a long time. I know that you have only just joined me and that, but I have mentioned this. There was a load of fucking bluster that they went to Alonso and he refused us. Amorim. Because he was already, he was already chosen by his best mate, Slot, the sloop man. Have a guess who his best mate is? Have a guess. It's that fucking Hughes fella. Have you noticed the connection there? The sloop mounters that live in Liverpool as place of employment. And Hughes, his place of employment is in Liverpool. But he doesn't live here either. He lives in fucking Bournemouth. So he's saying around and saying, well, I'll just fucking live here. You know, fuck them, fuck the Scousers. That's the way I fucking look at it, by the way. Fuck the Scousers. And they're fucking employed by us. That's annoying, that. If you lived in a city where you employ someone in a massive job and they're not living there, what would you think? What would you think? Say, like, I tell you what, Ten Hag, was he living in Manchester? What if the Mancunians, what would they wanted him out anyway because he was fucking useless for them. And yet Slot's fucking more useless than Ten Hag. Right? Imagine Ten Hag living in Liverpool. Think about it. And yet he's living up in... I've got nothing against Manchester people, by the way. I'm just saying he's living out of the fucking city that employs him. His family don't even live here. And I've been saying that for a very long time. Why is he living in Manchester? So why he gives them days off, the players? They're having days off. I'm going to have a fucking day off. And goes over to Holland. As soon as they, like that day, they're supposed to be training with the medicine balls. And, all right, lads, yeah, see you now. Have a couple of days off, you'll be all right. He's right back to Manchester. I'm coming over. I'll be over tonight. I'm getting the 7 o'clock flight to his wife. Or get over to Ibiza. I'll meet you there. See what I mean? That's how he's got these nice, shiny, tanned heads. Think about that. Even in Frankenstein, loved that bit about the Sanctuary Stone and the Nelson. Remember watching it years ago? Always something new and interesting to learn about the city. You're right there, then. That's what I was going to fucking talk about tonight. I should have just done history. And Stenner, I really like your videos on Liverpool, the city, mate. But football is always about opinions. Been watching Liverpool since the early... Good for you, Stenner. It is all about opinions. That's all that we... I've always said it. I've always said it, mate. And the poets, wow, I was just getting into the video of you in Castle Street. Fascinating stuff. I've got one here somewhere. If anyone's got a DVD, you can have it. So that's fucking there somewhere. We're searching around for it. I don't have them, you see. Thanks for that anyway, poet. And Phil, country has been taken over by the US investor. Of course it has. Hang on, let me read this. I put my reading glasses on. I hate wearing these, you know. Country is being taken over by US investors. Is it? It is, I'm sorry. It is, or was, the number one choice for US foreign investment, detailed in a book, Vassal State, and now planted as clause as well into the NHS. Peter Thiel. They've always look. Remember, Me Too came out in it the other week. Right, that came out. That's going to cost me to get fixed next week £1,200 because there's no NHS dentist. There's some people who's got an NHS dentist. I was talking to a very good friend of mine today, phoned me up out of the blue. By the way, great archivist as well, this lad. And he said, Frank, he said, I went to the dentist. He said, I want it, like there's a tooth that it doesn't pain, but it's in the way, one of my back teeth. And the dentist had a look at it. He said, NHS dentist, by the way, because he's on an NHS. And he said, oh, okay. He said, I can extract it if you want. That's no problem if it's giving you discomfort. And he said, oh, okay, how much is it going to cost? He said, 200 quid. He said, I'll go on with the discomfort. £200 to take a tooth out. Think about that. That tooth, 1,200 quid to fix. Next week. And Mohammed Rohan, that's a great name, that, Rohan. Great film, Rohan. Oh no, that's Ronan. Mohammed Rohan. Do you think Slot should be sacked? Yes. Yes. Yes, 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 yes. I wanted him gone months ago when we were defeated at Anfield by Nottingham Forest 3-0. Should have gone then. Useless man. Useless. And I love your Liverpool history videos, Frank. They are fascinating. They make me more observant when I walk around the city. I look forward to things you've talked about. There are loads of things. I showed Robin Gibb around. You know, when I met him, you know, I was asked to take him around because he said, I'm not just saying this, by the way. He said, have you got a good historian? He came to Liverpool because he's a history buff. He loved history. And he knew a little bit about Liverpool. And he said, yeah, there's only one man, he said. This particular, I don't know where he was from the entertainment business. So anyway, he came up, met him. And I went, hello, Robin. And as he shook hands with me, I went, and he just looked at me like, I thought that it was crackers. I said, I'm sorry, I had to do that, I said. And he just started laughing. But what I showed him in the city, I've shown people when I used to take them around, and they can't believe what's in the city and what's hidden. And I mean things that you just go, wow, never even noticed that. True that. But thanks for that, Lively. Really appreciate that, sweetheart. He's a head coach, not a manager. Doesn't that tell you something? As we never had a head coach in our history. He's a yes man to John W. Henry, says Stephen Coughlin. Yes. Yes, indeed. And Phil says, Frankie, you used an old Liverpool saying, I'm a wreck, and saying on the big lights. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's right, isn't it? I'm a wreck. And I am. I am, honestly. Unfortunately. I think I'll get married again. So you can all come to my wedding. Would you like that? Would you like me to get married and so you can all come to the wedding? Let's see. This. See that? That's my book. People go, you're all that. Yeah. You've written a play, I've written two. People don't really not bothered. Like a girl there, Carmen, she said, are you sure that's not your blood pressure? 172. See what I mean? Do I give a toss? No. Don't give a toss. Karma chameleon. I was waiting for you to ask for a few quid off a Sterling. Up that pennies is up, mate. Says the LFC. Maybe you give me free one. And Phil, are Germans being free, thinking and built an alliance with Russia would have been unstoppable. But to be honest, what will be unstoppable is a Russia-China thing. They've made, see, with the likes of Biden and wanting to go into, wanting Ukraine to fight Russia, they really thought that NATO trains and everything, thought that they could take Russia on. Wrong. And yet they've got the most sophisticated. This is how clever the Russians are. Today, they've got the most sophisticated weapons known to mankind. They've got the Orishnik that goes underground and blows up. It goes underground. It's an incredible weapon. But it's also if they could put a nuclear head on it. It could take out a city in one go. And they've got these other things, which is, I forget the names of them, They're unbelievable. So you see, and China, oh, blimey. But they would have been. But that was in the Second World War. Unstoppable, to be honest, Phil. TW. Dinner is served. I have just knocked up 2 rounds of toast topped with scrambled eggs and baked beans. That's nice. Healthy option, that there says Phil to Barry, Christopher. Get yourself off, Frank, while you're in pain. Night, everyone. Up the title winning Reds. Good night, Christopher. Good lad. Mr. B. Russia are playing Ukraine. If it kicked off, NATO would know exactly. They're already there. NATO. Frank, the destabilising of populations is now called atom. Steve Holland, my old mate. The media are covering up the trial of the 3 Ukrainian models. Of course they are. Didn't expect any difference, did you? And the lovely Liva says, there are 48 people watching this and only 23 likes. What's wrong with your index finger chatters? Thank you. Thank you so much, Liva Bird. But that's the way it is. That's why I get, not annoyed, but I think I'm wasting my time. And Phil, Frank, laugh with my... You were doing so well, no swearing, and one comment tipped you over. That's all it takes. And you know, the beauty of it is, some of the nice people. And I'm not like that, honestly. TW. Smash the fucking likes, boys and girls, please. Thank you, TW. See, I didn't swear then, it was him. It was TW. Wouldn't surprise me. Live a birthday on the 25 on slot in. I like that Jamie Phillips, Jamie Phillips's chat. Football chat, I think it's just, he's a lovely fella. A really nice, passionate fella. This season slaughters 18 games in all competitions under the ball fraud. And won us nothing this season. Doesn't that tell you something, Stella? La. He's out of his depth, mate. And he got, the beauty of it is, or the sadness is, shall I say, that he got all these new players. Brilliant players who were brilliant for their clubs. There you go. The sloop man had it all and couldn't fucking do nothing. Slot hasn't improved the new signings. They have all been bad this season and were bought for big money. Do you know what? I'm not being funny, but you do get like some podcasters and they're going on, He was fucking terrible through the game. I was doing a podcast. I was doing a watch along, and I'm saying he's fucking useless. Kept getting the ball taken off him. Tried little flicks, what never came off. He was terrible, and he scored that goal right at the end. He's done nothing for over a fucking 90 minutes. He's done absolutely nothing. And yet they're all praising, what a game he has. See what I mean? How they try to bull us up and bull him up. Fucking awful. He hasn't really made an impact. To me, he hasn't. And Phil, in fairness, Frank, turns out Brian Epstein made the right choice. Best in it, rest in it. Yeah, I'm not saying that. But I'm just saying how lucky. Just imagine if he had Pete Best. Pete Best was a better drummer than it's been proved. So that was just gone along and made. They was a being what they did anyway, you know what I mean? They was just gone on and did what they did. And being as successful as they did, as they were. With Pete Best, not George Best. No, not Georgie Best. Not with Ringo Starr. And this is what I'm saying about Slot. They went into a band. And they had a big following on Merseyside. A massive following. And he went in and then they took off. It wasn't because of him drumming. And I hope you realise this, Phil, that the first record, I'm not saying like Mike Bonnie lies over it, I'm not fucking saying that thing. I'm talking about Love Me Do. It was on the drums. It was Pete Best, not Ringo Starr. So they made a record. So they were known then. But because of the girls, simple as that. Oh, fuck off. I was reading a book earlier called The Liverpool Way. It said, if the manager stroke head coach is fucking useless, Slot, in brackets, then sack the bastard. Cracking book. Yeah, he is. He's useless. But he's going. I'm telling you now. Oh, for fuck's sake, where the fuck did that come from? You can't see what goes on here. Frank, I think Stenner is an Evertonian. From a couple of weeks ago, that came in, different guides. Johan wouldn't, yeah, he would. I haven't seen Johan. I don't know. I've been talking to Johan, there's no problem. The Yetis didn't get him. So that's good. The Tigers haven't got him yet. You know, because he moved from the Himalayas back down to India. But I told him to watch out for them pesky tigers. They roam about and them fucking big elephant things. Watch out for them. Pete Best was boring, no personality. That's why they got the boot, says Gary Dick. Ringo Starr said, peace and love. He's an arsehole, him. A mate of mine I used to teach, he was a lecturer, massive Beatles fan. Should see the memorabilia he's got. Unbelievable. Took me into his house. Fucking hell. Incredible. And he was down when Ringo Starr and the All-Stars came to the Empire, right? He was standing outside and he was talking to this fella who sat next to him in school, and he grew up with him until they were about 15, 16. Then they just like disappears into their own things. Now this lad sat with him at the age of 7 or something, right through to like when they were leaving school, and stayed, when they left school, they stayed together until, you know, they just split up at 16, 17. And here's what happened. Ringo Starr, you know, was coming out, and his mate John said, "Richie, can you sign this, mate?" And he looked at it and he said, "Oh, fuck off. What do you want my autograph for? You know me." That's what he said to the lad. But my mate Mike, he wanted it signed, you know, a Beatles album. And he said, "Can you sign that?" And he just looked at Mike and went, "No," and just got in the car. That's what he said. And his mate apparently just says, "What a fucking swat he is." That's not me, that's coming out from that lad. And that's Ringo Starr for you. He can't sing, doesn't write songs. I'm sorry, Frank, I don't think Slot couldn't even do a Thomas the Tank. He's more of a plank. Richard Starkey was on the radio today promoting his new book, you know. Says the tea. And Peter G. Rumour has it that Klopp is going to Madrid. Gain rumours, aren't they? Chat, says Phil. If anyone remembers Faulty Towers, don't mention the war sketch. We need not to mention Slot. I should have just stuck to the shouldn't I? Marvellous. You know, there are things and things that go on. Just want to show you something here. Oh, that's our emblem. Look at it. That's our emblem. And Slot doesn't even live here. And yet, this emblem is paying him. You might think, oh, FSG. No, we're fucking paying him. FSG don't put their hands in the pocket for nothing. And when they bought it for 300 million, they didn't put their hands in the pocket and say, yeah, it's the Royal Bank of Scotland, yeah, there's the 300 million, thanks. They said to the Royal Bank of Scotland, give us the loan, give us the 300 million loan and we'll pay it off. And it was Liverpool Football Club that paid it off, not fucking FSG. Frank, those 4 prisoners are exchange flags. Were they made from cannonballs? No. No, they weren't. But there's a couple of statues. I want to show you this. If you're a Scouser, that's St. Paul's church. Beautiful church. look at it. And it was something like, they did it like a Rome church, you know, you can see it, you know, it's a Romanesque design, everything. And why I'm showing you that is, where St. Paul's Eye Hospital was, they knocked it down for that. They knocked it down for that. Hence St. Paul's Eye Hospital. Thought I'd just show you that. The prick lives at the ends of the road. I said though, didn't I? Do you know, I'm not being funny. I'm not being funny. I went on that an index twice. I've been on it. Not like the way I'm talking now. I commented twice. And a staff fella is a Dave Davis. Hello, good evening, good morning, good afternoon, wherever you are. Him, he's got a mad accent, and he lives in Scotland. And I put up a comment the first time last week or the week before. Comments, it wasn't harsh comments or nothing like that. It wasn't like swearing or whatever. And never got mentioned. And it was supposed to be live, you know, because the comments were going up. And today, I went, I'm going to comment here. Because he was talking about Curtis Jones and whatever. And I said, like myself, Curtis Jones is a Scouser. And our team must have Scousers in it, as always. That's all I said. Oh, and I said, and Slot out. Now, I know that this fella hates Slot himself and he wants him gone. But they didn't put it up. So you wonder why. Have they got exclusive people? I never swore or anything like that. So I thought, fuck you, never again. That David Lynch goes on it now and again. Anyway, we have lost our high press under Arnie Slot, the ball fraud, and we were a better team when we played a 4-3-3 system. Now it's 4-3-2-1, which ain't working. The Vader. He gives the players too much time off. That's why teams outrun us. His coaching is mediocre at best. If we weren't clinical at the weekend, we would have lost. Yep. We were awful. That's me though. A few others as well. We were terrible. We just played in patches. And how many shots did we have? We had 7 shots, didn't we? Or something like that, something like that. Or 9 shots at home. 3 on target and then 3 went in. And Steve Mulholland says, Slot was in London. What's he fucking doing in London? Unless John Henley's there, because he only flies to London. You're fucking going at the end of the season, you baldy head. That's what he could have been saying with an American accent. When he could have been in the lobster pot. When the World Cup is on in June, Slot will be away on his holidays in Ibiza, DJing on the decks like he was last summer. Say, yes, I bet you're alive a bird's going to bring her dogs out. And she says, thanks for another great evening, Frank. I'm really tired, having walked the dog out. I thought you were taking us out now. To the Hillbray Island. I'm back today. Where the fuck do you live? I thought she only lived down the road. He doesn't even want his last trot around the block early night for both of us. Are you sure it's a dog that you're fucking taking out, eh? Live a bit. Bet you've got some fucking fella. You take him out for a walk. And Phil says, the Bee Gees were great. Yeah, I agree. So long as no slot debate. Are you going then, Phil? Oh, I'm sorry there. Say it because I've easily misunderstood that. Well, I did, didn't I? So long as no slot debate. That's me swearing. Name the day, says LFC. Is that the wedding cake? Is that the wedding talking about? Mohammed says, official breaking news, Gapco arrested for kidnapping Slot's family and demanding a ransom of Slot, so he plays. Brilliant. Love it. Watched another drama last night, filmed in Liverpool, The Cage with Sheridan. She's lovely, eh? I've met Sheridan. She's a lovely girl. Lovely, lovely girl. The Cage, eh? And Phil says, love the fact about the French prisoners of war on the monument. It is an important fact. According to Legacy Media Only, Liverpool has association with the transatlantic sled. Don't get me onto that fucking thing. Biggest myth ever, that. Biggest myth ever. We're still the champions, says Edward. Of course we are. Poor title defence. Absolutely. The worst. Worst. Time to fly, Frank, says the LFC. See you Thursday. Bye all. See you at LFC. See you, mate. Good luck. He's well gone, isn't he? So is he, the live a bit. I'll go right down here, boys. Search the BBC must have received a D notice. It says a crap show. No pun intended. Says Phil. Stenner as rich as you, says the most probably is the invisible man. I agree on Wirtz. He was poor on Saturday. He was. I thought he was terrible. Friggin' hell is my sponsor. Evening, Frank. I hope you're well, mate. He is my sponsor. Got patent services. And as I keep telling you people, if you're an NHS worker or you know anybody who's an NHS worker or an elderly couple do not struggle. If you want your house decorating, get gap painting services in simply because you get a special discount if you fit into those categories. If you don't fit into the categories, just get them in to give you a price without any obligation. That's gap painting services. The chap who's there on the thing there is the owner, sponsors all Frank Carlyle's podcasts. Thanks, Andy. Cheers, mate. Cheers, mate. Just that I can't walk anymore. Just can't walk anymore, Andy. Vets needs more for that. He's too lightweight for the Premiership, as he came from a Farmers League into yes. Not forgetting the great boy wonder, Isak is that. Andy. And Stephen says, love your living room, Frank, especially that free place with all your knickknacks. It looks nice and cozy there, Frank. Oh, yeah, thank you. It is. It is. It's really nice. And Peter G, God hath granted us this ease. What is? Yep, Dave Davis. Hi, Frankie. Oh, lovely little Lauren. Hiya, Lauren. Hello, sweetheart. Hi, Lauren. Hi, TW. My old house, previously owned by musical entertainers, house name was Vaudeville. They has a 78 RPM record accompaniment with a singing canary. They appeared on the radio before the ventriloquist. Believe it or not, but they did have ventriloquists on the radio. The Steamer Lolland. Hi, Frank. I'm glad the Swan Inn, Wood Street, is going to be taken over by Dom, who owns the Bride. Oh, go away. Do you know what? I've only ever been in the Swan, once. And I went in there. I went to the Fact to see a film in 3D. And when we came out, went in there, had a couple of jars and went home. Went to Frankie and Benny's. Then home. Evening all, says Kevin Pine. I'm finishing up now. Kevin, you've been on other pods, haven't you? Big up Gap Paintings. Oh, that's great, that. Thanks, T. Thank you. But you'll have said that before as well. Evening, Kevin, says the T. Ali, good evening. That's our Romanian friend. Oh, boy wonder, our Jason P. Give us a call after your show, please, mate. Okay, is that, I haven't got your number, but is that Jason to give you a call? Of course, he will. Anyway, Phil says, my brother told me Gary Neville's company bought Mark Goldridge's out for 3. Go away. Yeah, he was selling his thing, wasn't he? Does anyone want to buy this one for £3? I just want to, I'm finishing now, boys and girls. Just want to thank the wonderful Gap Painting Services for sponsoring every single one. Don't forget, I'm back on Thursday with the football show. Not tomorrow, not doing anything tomorrow or Thursday, Wednesday. And the fully time served, these are no cowboys either. The fully time served, fully insured. They're absolutely brilliant. I've had them in myself and they've done a wonderful job. And this is before they started sponsoring, by the way. I had them in. It's reasonable. First class, in and out, bang, gone. Leaving your house sparkling. Leaving the house sparkling. So, and if you know anybody who is definitely works for the NHS, please get them in. Don't struggle. Get these, you get a special discount. And anybody who's elderly, tell them not to struggle to get these people in. Get painting services. My brother told me Gary Neville's company. Oh, yeah, I'm sorry there. And Ali says, I'm made from Romania. I give you 2 small goats for a Franco. Just got in from the town, got some free food. Sorry, I'm late, lad, says Kevin Pratt. What are you doing in town? Should be going out on a Monday night. Great show, Frank. See you Thursday. Enjoy the Champs League. Thank you, TW. Thank you, my friend. Barry Eldridge. Gotta go, Frank. See you on the next one. Okay, Barry. Thank you, Barry. Good show, Frank. Thanks, but please don't mention the word slot. The word slot. Peace out, Frank. And Shatter, says Steve McLaughlin. So all stay safe and chat soon, my fellow Reds. See you Thursday, guys and dolls. You never walk alone. That's lovely. And Ali. Too bad I came too late for the live. Good night to everybody. Evening, Gandhi. Hope you and yours are well. Is it Frank or Jason? Frank, you said you don't. No, I don't. And it's on the screen. Trying to be clever, you aren't you? Cheers for the support, Frank, and your lovely audience. Have a boss week. You still want me to fight? Jason, text me the number. I can't write it down because I've got nothing in here to write it down with. Please, yeah, send me the number through. Thanks. And on that wonderful note, all you wonderful people, I'll see you all on Thursday. No show tomorrow, no show on Wednesday. I'll have this football show. I'll have the football show. And if you can, that doesn't matter. I'll be back at 7 o'clock Thursday anyway. And I hope you enjoy the games tomorrow. 2 semi-finals, the games that we should have been playing in. But with this fellow named Slot, we fucked it up. But don't tell anyone. Our lovely Toscana. Grazie Franco and chatters. Grazie Toscana. Ci vediamo, cara mia Toscana. And on that, I'm going to finish, boys and girls. Thank you so much. And the old mate, Steve. Bye, Frank. Thank you. No, thank you, Steve, for joining us all night. Thank you. And I'm going to finish now. I really am. My knees killing me. See you later, boys and girls. Thank you. See you Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Ciao.